Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless, so whenever you come across this video, however you come across it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. And we've been pulling one card randomly every morning from our mega deck. You can look down in the description below if you're not familiar with how that was put together. But today our card is pulled from the Earthcraft Oracle deck by Juliet Diaz, Lorianne Anderson, and art by Danielle Boudou Vortune. I'm probably slaughtering her name, I apologize. But today's card is card number 32, Spirit of the South. And before we go in the book and see what the reading says for us for today in the book, I have not looked at that yet. You and I are going to go through that for the first time, unless you've already got this deck and you've run over and grabbed your book so that you can take a peek, but I have not yet. So hang on, we will get there. But before we get there, I always want to get all of the energy, messages, transmissions that are coming to us directly from the image on the card itself. And this is a very powerful image. It's a very powerful card, very powerful energy of the South, Spirit of the South. So I'm not going to talk about the number 32 or that it reduces down to a 5. We've been getting tons of 5s in various decks through this mega deck for the past couple of weeks. So I've talked a bit about that already. You can feel free to just do a search for the number 32 on my channel and see what happens. It's kind of crazy. But in metaphysics, the direction of the South is associated with Archangel Michael, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But in metaphysics, the southern direction is typically associated with the energy of fire, and we absolutely have fire energy. And it's kind of interesting because our reading for the week in the Weekly Thoth Tarot was talking about fire too. So interesting. That's coming in later in the week according to that forecast. So it might show up sooner rather than later, I guess, depending on when you get this card, depending on when you pull this reading, of course. But it represents fire, growth, expansion, passion, vitality, and creation. These are like the key words for this channel, representing the power of the sun at its zenith, signifying warmth, life force, and the potential for new beginnings. There's just so many things. There's just so many things. We could go off on a million different tangents, but the key points about the southern energy is that it's related with the element of fire, the solar plexus chakra. So I would call it, we'll call it the solar plexus chakra, which is the second chakra. So more orange rather than red specifically. But what happens when you put red and yellow together on the card here? You get orange. Thank you. Symbolic themes equal keywords like passion, action, leadership, manifestation, transformation. And how does this energy show up in your world? Okay, it can show up as enthusiasm. You can be enthusiastic about a new project, a new relationship, a new path, a new direction, a new purpose, a new mission. You can get action. You can be wanting to just get it done. You can feel confident and creative with strong will and drive. On the flip side, because we know all coins, all matters have a flip side, you can feel a little bit over aggressive, over impulsive, over reckless. Okay, so be mindful that you're not outrunning yourself. We just talked about this not too long ago about being mindful. If I start stumbling over things, I trip or I drop something, it's because I've been rushing through that action and not paying attention at all to where my hands and feet were going and what they were doing. And so be mindful that that may happen as well. If it does, just stop for a second, you know, breathe and recenter on where you're going. And maybe, dial it back from 11 to 10 and a half. Okay. But let's talk about Archangel Michael. I cannot choose favorites in the archangels or any of the pantheons of our cosmic, divine, energetic entities that grace us with their wisdom and knowledge. I call them DDs, divine downloads. I've been getting a whole bunch of new story ideas. You guys are going to probably see new short stories coming from me, maybe on the community page, maybe links to my Facebook page. That's where I've been posting a lot of stuff lately, not so much on X, formerly known as Twitter, or Pinterest, but those are going to be coming up too as I'm working through new projects. But be prepared for seeing a couple of new short stories. And if you're into urban fantasy and that kind of thing, you can feel free to check out my book that I posted in installments on this channel as well. It's got its own playlist. But Archangel Michael is associated with the direction of the south. He specializes in helping with truth and courage. Some practical ways that Archangel Michael may be helping you through this day, in the next couple of days, is including supporting you if you're in the middle of a crisis, maybe kind of a tower moment. There is support and love and acceptance and encouragement for you in that whatever's going on, reassuring you that God and his angels care for you and showing you what your purpose is in life. Sometimes things go sideways because we're not following a path that's true for us, that's authentic for us, that we can feel follows our integrity. That's kind of what this channel is all about, right? For everybody that's been here more than twice. So that is the energy that we're working with, guys. We are working with very strong creative force, very strong passion. And it could be a project. This could be something you've, like I think not too long ago I had a reading was talking about projects being shoved back on the back of the stove, and maybe they've even fallen off the stove and they're on the floor in the back behind everything, and the grime and the dust and all of that. Maybe it's time to pull that stuff away from the back end and bring it forward. Maybe it's time to expand your comfort zone just a little bit in some area that you have familiarity with. You're just bumping it up a notch, not necessarily, going off and setting up a, some kind of something without having a good plan for where you're going and what you're doing. So let's take a look in the book and find out what it says for us for our reading for today. For card number 32, Spirit of the South. And we'll have a little exercise at the end. I encourage you to take part in that if you have the opportunity. You'll just want a red candle. And if you don't have one handy, if you have any candle at all, you can place it on something that is red and fireproof, heat-proof. You can, there's a variety of things that you can do to see it as being red in your mind. And if you don't have any candles at all, just imagine a red candle before you. You can probably pop online while I'm yakking here and pull up an image of a red candle that's burning, and just focus on that as we go through the exercise at the end. But the Spirit of the South is connected to the element of fire and initiates you to the energy of expansion, radiance, action, excitation, and rapid change. When this archetype comes into your life, it brings about a need to head toward your soul's purpose without delay or distraction. We all have a purpose to fill. The universe gives us little nudges and messages letting us know which direction to take. Being aware of these messages and acting accordingly allows you to channel the spirit of the South in a healthy, productive way. The universe always gives you plenty of time to change direction when you fall off course. If you ignore these warnings, the universe must step in and burn through that which leads you astray. That may be the tower. It may simply be the universe's way of saying, no, this is going to cause you harm. Get out of here now. You have received this card as a final warning that some changes must occur in your life. Continue to ignore these warnings, and fire will manifest in your life as chaos and destruction until you come back to your purpose. Embrace the gifts of the South, and you will find the motivation and fiery passion to burn straight through your obstacles. So this is a, a reading about the unstoppable force, you emulating that particular energy. This is our exercise for honoring the spirit of the South. And your ingredients are a red candle, and I'm assuming matches or a lighter or something, some way to light it, okay? Light a red candle, which symbolizes and amplifies the fire spirit. Sit before or kneel in front of the candle while facing south, and hold out your hands on either side of the flame with your palms inward. Whisper into the flame, I am present for your guidance, dear spirit of the South. Take a moment to meditate on the message or messages brought to you by the spirit of the South. Thank the South Spirit for showing up and for her divine guidance. Wow, I love that. So no soft pedaling it here, guys, okay? There may be something that's falling apart. There may be something that feels very much like a tower, feels very much like death, feels very much like that kind of energy. Ten of swords, you know, you're just like done. Okay, call it what it is. You're done. Put up your hands in surrender. That is our place of power. That is our place of allowing the universe to bring in healing, to bring in renewal, to bring in passion. It may be something you may have had a fight with somebody, your partner, spouse, child, parent, boss, coworker, that may have just like rocked you, absolutely floored you, literally. There is healing coming. Allow that healing by releasing, understanding, acknowledging, absolutely, the pain, the hurt, the whatever that is that you've been feeling about the situation. By all means, you just don't want to live in that space of feeling that anger or frustration or hurt or whatever. Release those emotions to be healed. You don't have to identify as the person that got hurt, as the person that was the victim, as the person that, you know, something bad happened to. You can simply acknowledge that it happened and that you're moving on. And now is the time to move on. It may mean simply speaking to that person and saying, I really am looking forward to not ever having that happen again, ever in the future. I am accepting responsibility and accountability for everything I said, everything I did, for any harm, any pain it may have caused you. And I'm going to be doing everything I can to make sure it never happens again. You step forward with that. You step forward in that spirit of compassion, of forgiveness. And this may be a conversation that you're going to have with yourself. Maybe we just have been having these readings about fighting with yourself, being in conflict between what you've been doing and what you know you need to be doing, something like that. This is just another confirmation, affirmation to you that it's okay to release what is no longer serving you, because as soon as you do, nature abhors a vacuum. Spirit of the South energy is going to come flooding in with new passion, new purpose, new determination. You won't feel like procrastinating. You won't feel like, oh God, I gotta go back and do this. I've got to go back and deal with this. I've got to go back. And that's not going to happen anymore. You're going to be looking at what you need to do, and it's going to excite you. It's going to be so powerful in inspiration coming to you as you've released all of the old energy, memory of what happened that did not turn out the way you wanted it to. Let it go. Stop identifying with that person that had that thing happen to them, because you're not that person anymore. You have moved on, or you can now. So that's our reading for the day. Pretty powerful, pretty clear. And I'm not going to make any apologies. This is your time. This is the time for your expansion, for your illumination. And as you release these things and become even more bright, become even more enlightened, you're going to be bringing more light into the situation, and it's going to change everything. So no fear, no apologies, no excuses. We are done with all of that. I love you. You can't say no one has said that to you recently anymore, because I just said it to you. I love you. You are very powerful, and all of the determination that you've been putting into all of that energy trying to make something work that's not. Imagine what's going to happen when you turn that energy into what is working. Holy cow. Smoking. You are hot, baby. So go take your fire. You are fire. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.